Hey guys, Victoria here, and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. So I'm going to try to keep this one short because we got to get ready for episode 9, which is airing tonight if I get this episode uploaded to the channel in enough time. This is episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again, called Isle of Joy. So as always, if you don't want any spoilers, feel free to skip this episode. So just jumping straight into everything, the big thing that's been happening throughout the series is the showrunners and the writers and even like the cinematographer, director, everybody involved with this project has really enjoyed showing the juxtaposition between what Fisk is going through and what Matt Murdock is going through, right? And I feel this episode is no different. This episode, Matt is spiraling like Fisk was last episode. And this episode, Fisk is thriving the same way Matt was last episode. So they've kind of switched roles here. Matt is dealing with the aftermath of Heather feeling a lot of remorse and anger at the same time against vigilantes and villains alike. There's a lot of conversations that happen between them about that. Fisk and Vanessa are making amends with some of the stuff and loose ends in their relationship. Like I said, Heather dealing with the aftermath of what happened with her killing Muse. She is perfectly okay with Fisk spinning the story to make it look like the task force killed Muse. And she has very, very, very strong opinions about vigilantes and just their place in the world. And it sounds like she fully agrees with Fisk. And obviously that comes from a place of like, one, it's a trauma response, but also it was something she was wanting to explore. And you can kind of look at Matt sideways because she was trying to inquire more about vigilantes by trying to set up interviews and document her conversations with them so that way she could write her book and have a better understanding as to why they hide behind the mask, right? And they do have like a very heated discussion about it because Buck shows up to the apartment early in the episode and he gives Heather a invitation to a gala, a ball that Fisk has had, which doubles as some sort of fundraiser, right, for one of his upcoming projects. And to Buck's surprise, Matt Murdock was there, and Matt is just like, why the hell is he here? And you know, Buck goes away quietly. There's like, I'm sure he made a mental note, but more importantly, Heather and Matt just go back and forward about this because I said this was something that was probably going to happen. She can't give away any sort of details about her clients. Matt is just like, oh my God, if Fisk is a client of yours, then he's doing it to get to me. And it's just, there's just a lot of unspoken things there regarding like the secrecy or whatever, right? Like she can't share with him, and obviously he's not going to share Daredevil with her quite yet. It really damages their relationship because, like I said, there's that huge thick layer of secrecy. She wants to understand, he wants to understand, but neither of them are budging on what's happening here. Fisk is, like I said, trying to make amends with Vanessa and be truthful in his relationship. He's getting rid of all the secrets. So like I said, that juxtaposition is there. He reveals that Adam has been kept in a cell and she has the option to either let Adam go with the key or kill Adam. And we know who Vanessa really is. I said this in the last episode. Vanessa kills Adam, cutting off the last loose end that was damaging their relationship. So we think so far. One of the big things that takes place throughout the entire episode is what's going on with Bullseye. I quite honestly wasn't thinking about him whatsoever. And so I think it's a very interesting choice to bring him back just to kind of put Matt in that place of, you were freaking out before, well now I really need you to freak out. Like I feel like he kind of was managing the fact that things weren't okay, and then he started, like I said, thriving and feeling really good about the way things were going, and now he's back at like, well, what's the point? Justice isn't being served. He's going to be back out on the streets. What's the point of what I'm doing here? Bullseye gets moved from kind of like a high risk area within the prison, and he gets moved to general population as if he's not a risk to himself and others. Matt's just like, okay, this is a problem. And Kirsten really wants to help him. And she's like, just talk to me. Like, you haven't been right. Like, I don't even recognize you right now. They do meet with a client and Matt blows up at him because he senses that he's lying. And he's just sick and tired of the runaround in the system, which he was so religiously trying to stick to, right? And so because of that, we do later on get a meetup with Matt and Cherry because Kirsten calls him in for backup and they have a talk and everything. Matt is trying to connect the dots. He's so convinced that Poindexter was told to kill Foggy by Fisk. He knows that there's some kind of connection there and he can't quite figure it out. But one of the things I do want to mention is just the meetup that happened with Matt and Bullseye. So he gives him nothing. Matt is all but trying to see if he could get him to say, Fisk told me to kill Foggy. Even as an audience member, it feels too personal that Fisk would do something like that. But he wasn't giving him anything. Surely enough, after Matt leaves, some time passes and Bullseye escapes, because why wouldn't he? Also, why and how did he manage to escape? I'll never know. So the gala kicks off. Fisk and Vanessa make a very amazing entrance. He's wearing an all-white suit. She's wearing a red, lovely dress. And we have all the people there. We have the rich, kind of stuck-up people in episode 6. He takes a couple of them in the room. He accuses one of them of being a vigilante and he blackmails them. And there's just a lot going on with have them make promises to him in exchange to keep their secrets. Another thing that's going on that I do want to mention, because I'm starting to get very concerned about it, Sheila and Daniel were told that Daniel was going to get promoted to deputy mayor of communication. And I absolutely hate it. I don't know. I feel like it's just, okay, the actor's doing an amazing job. But Daniel is such a nuisance and he's so annoying. I don't trust him and I'm very disappointed, at least I was initially, with BB kind of accepting his not really apology, but like him justifying his actions. But something that she says that let me know she was on the right track was speak truth to power. And so later you can spot BB talking with Commissioner Gallo. People are kind of watching BB and Gallo talk to each other, but she says, you think I only post articles with my proper email and my proper, like I have a pseudonym. Let's talk about some of the stuff that you want to get off your chest about Mayor Fisk, because he does allude to the fact that you do know Fisk is one of the main suspects that killed your father, right? And she's very well aware of that. And I do wish, in terms of the way that they wrote BB's arc and everything, that is something that they would have revealed earlier. The audience doesn't have all the pieces and they're smart all along, or they're undercover all along. But I feel like they took a little too long to do that with BB for my personal taste. But, it is what it is. Sure enough, Murdoch shows up. Him and Heather have a very intense exchange because she didn't know he was coming. He's not really there for her. He's not listening to her. He's there to try to figure out, why did Fisk kill Foggy? Right? He's trying to get more intel, more details, whatever he can get. He convinces Heather, please trust me. I feel like Fisk is trying to use you to get to me. There's an overall theme here. I need you to go with me on this. Surprisingly, she does. I was absolutely shocked. But she doesn't do it out of just absolute trust. I think part of it is she's concerned for him. She thinks something may eventually be wrong with him. She quite literally says it. He overhears Fisk and Vanessa talking, and they do get news from Buck that Poindexter escaped. Daredevil can immediately hear Vanessa's heart, and then he can also hear her whisper to Fisk, I have something to tell you. He uses his plan with Heather, and they both change partners, and he's dancing with Vanessa. He asks her twice to try to tell him, what did you do with Poindexter? Did you have Foggy killed? What's going on here? He's like, does your husband know you did this? And she's like, does Heather know that you're Daredevil? Which I think is a very good exchange. I really like this moment with Vanessa and Matt. As things start kind of closing in and everything, Matt can hear a gun being cocked, and so he jumps in front of Fisk and he takes a bullet in the chest. So that's where the episode ends, and it's very interesting. I liked this episode more than I thought I would. I thought I wasn't going to be into it, especially the way it all started. Obviously, the last few minutes really ramped up things quite a lot. I am curious where they're going to go next week with the episode. I'm not sure what to expect, honestly, because we've got a lot of loose hanging threads, but we'll have to see how all that goes and how that plays out. But yes, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and give me a like rating down below. And until next time, I'll see you guys for the season finale. Bye!